Hello everyone and welcome to a very exciting game from yet another Lichess titled arena. Now, as usual, when there's a Lichess titled arena, we're going to show a game or two. So this is a game that was suggested to me by a subscriber, Dario. Thank you for that. It's really an exciting game. And, well, some of you always, ask why are we showing such, quick formats. This is a bullet game, but these are very strong players. Daniel Naroditsky, a very strong grandmaster, and Magnus Carlsen, of course, the world champion. Even though it's a bullet game, they will play a very impressive game. And, of course, tactics will be missed as it is a bullet game, but you have time at your, homes, at your PCs or smartphones, so you have time to pause the video and try to find any missing ideas that were not played in the game. So just for fun, this time I left their Lichess handle. There you have it, DrNykterstein and Rebecca Harris, and their ratings, so you can enjoy that as well. Now, without further ado, let's check out this very nice game. As the title suggests, it will be the King's Gambit. So e4, we have e5 by Rebecca Harris, we have f4 by Magnus, the King's Gambit is on the board, and now knight to c6, not accepting the Gambit right away, but after knight to c3, we basically transpose into the Vienna game, and only now is the f-pawn captured. And d4 by Carlsen, the Chinese Gambit, asking black, do you want to go for this queen to h4 check, which is the oldest question in the book when something like the Vienna game or the King's Gambit is played. And Naroditsky goes for it. We have queen to h4 check, and now king to e2. So already a very exciting position, and there are some positions where it's actually okay for white to put his king on e2. This is not one of them, but still, it's a bullet game, so you can play anything. With b6, Naroditsky prepares to fianchetto his light square bishop, and now a4, because the bishop can also come to a6, and from there it would harass the white king a bit too much. So by playing a4, Magnus already prepares knight b5 to block the bishop's check. And the knight to f6, and it is of this, as of this move 6, that we have a completely new game, which is not all that surprising since we are having the King's Gambit with the white king being on e2. So knight to f3, Carlsen develops a piece, and it's often something you will do when you allow this check. You want to get this knight to f3 move in to harass the queen, and now black will start wasting moves with the queen because of the check on h4. First bishop to a6 check, now comes knight to b5, and only now queen to h5, with ideas maybe of capturing here on b5, as both the bishop and the queen now are attacking it. So Carlsen goes e5, he blocks the queen's attack to the knight here, and now threatens the capture on f6. So here knight to e4 is played. Knight to g4 was also a possibility when you have some ideas of maybe bringing the knight over to e3. After this knight is, let's say, maneuvered, knight b4 to here, and then to e3. But like I said, it's a bullet game. So knight to e4, and here, what do you play? Here, Naroditsky probably chose this move with the ideas of winning some material with knight to g3 check. And here, indeed, if Carlsen goes for something, which allows that, it would win material. But Carlsen just grabs the f4 pawn here, so it's not a problem. And now the bishop guards the g3 square. And here we have queenside castle. Another thing you could have tried instead of this, but it's, like I said, it's hard to spot such things in a bullet game. White is actually winning here, and it's really odd since, it seems like black is on the attack, but the knight on e4 is stranded, and you can win the game here. But feel free to pause the video and try to find this beautiful idea here. Since you're at your home, you have more time, you can pause the video. So do that. For those of you who were able to do it, congratulations, you are an excellent spotter of lines that were not played in a bullet game. And for those of you who just want to enjoy the show, queen to d3 traps the knight. The knight doesn't have anywhere to go, and the game is just over. Because here, you are no longer pinned here. The bishop is not pinning the knight, as the queen is here. So knight to c6 check is a pretty big threat, which would check the king and win the bishop on a6. And also, there's just the threat of winning the knight here. And even if you try something like knight to g4 check, it's not a problem. It doesn't do anything. You can just give up the rook here, and after the queen captures, only then will you go knight c7 check and pick up the bishop. Let's say king d8, knight captures on a6, and black is down material, and you don't really have a good way of taking advantage. You can't capture here, you can't capture here, you're just down material. So what you could do after queen to d3 is maybe play d5, but it still doesn't save you. Because yes, now the knight is protected, but now you get knight captures on c7, like we said. The knight is no longer pinned, king has to move, and now you just lose material, and there is no good reply here. Even knight g3 doesn't help you. We get the exact same position here. Queen captures, and now let's say queen b5, you attack the knight here, queen h6, and now you can go queen captures on d5 with check, and black just falls apart. So this was an option here, but like we said, it's a bullet game, so because we are now analyzing it, you have time at home so we can use it for target practice. Bishop captures on f4 by Magnus, we have queenside castle by Naroditsky, and now king to e3. It's a beautiful move by Magnus, unpins from the queen, unpins from the bishop, and not only that, the king at e3 threatens to capture the knight on e4. So what do you play here? And can the king even come to e4? I mean, can you survive with a king on e4 in a bullet game? It's definitely hard to say, but it's still impossible to save the knight. All the tactics that worked on the previous move work here. If d5, just e captures on d6. And now if you want to get the knight back to safety, now you get knight captures on d6. Which delivers check and also threatens to win material here. So c captures on d6, or if you want to expose the rook to some danger, and now bishop captures on a6 with check, king c7, you are just down material without any good counterplay here. So after king to e3, we have d6 by black, offering this knight here. But first Carlsen just gets rid of any dangers on the queen side. First knight captures on a7 with check, knight captures on a7, and now bishop captures on a6 with check with king to b8, and only now king captures on e4. So here Magnus wins a piece, but he still has a king on e4. Is this playable? How can black continue this? First Naroditsky goes d captures on e5, we have knight captures on e5, and now queen to h4, preparing g5 to win back material. But here Carlsen plays a very nice a defense to the g5 move, queen to f3. Seems like it's not stopping g5, but it really is. Here if black plays g5, Magnus had king to d3 planned, because now if you capture with the pawn or with the queen, doesn't really matter, you're just getting checkmated. Queen to b7 is mate in 1. So very nice idea by Carlsen, preparing king to d3, king to d3, so you cannot play g5. And here, if you can't play g5 and there's no way to win material and there's no way to start attacking the king, even though Carlsen's king is on e4, you're just down a piece. So here bishop to c5 is played. Here he offers Carlsen to capture on c5. The idea is probably that if pawn captures, he can get the rook here, and now the two rooks will be very powerful here, as Carlsen's king is still on e4. But Carlsen ignores the bishop. He just plays c3, strengthens the center. And now rook h to e8, and now king to d3. Carlsen starts escaping with the king, and he's still up a piece, so it's not a problem. And here, now, by playing king to d3, Magnus is threatening mate, queen to b7 will be checkmate, and here c6. Blocking mate, but it doesn't help black. Here it's actually a forced mate in 4, so feel free to pause the video once again and try to find this very nice sequence. I will give you a couple of seconds, of course, even though I can't not give you a couple of seconds, you can pause the video by yourself. I mean, there's nothing I'm actually allowing here. But yeah, for those of you who were able to do that, congratulations, you are an excellent spotter of mates in bullet games. And for those of you who just want to enjoy the show, of course, the idea is knight captures on c6. It's now a double check from the bishop and from the knight. So when it's a double check, the king has to move. There are no other moves. King to a8 only move, and now you can either capture the rook or just move to a5 to deliver yet another check. I always think it's cooler to deliver mate without taking any unnecessary material. So if you capture the rook, it's fine, but knight to a5, I think it's just more poetic. Now it's pretty much over. The queen delivers check, and you can't block with anything. You can block with this rook, you can block with this rook, you can block with the knight, but whatever you do, queen will just gobble up all the pieces and it will be mate. So let's say you just give up the rook, give up the rook, give up the knight, and finally when the knight blocks, it will be captures, king a7 and queen b7 mate. So yeah, just a wonderful game with a lot of hidden tactics. So congratulations to everyone who spotted all of them. And yeah, I mean, that's why we show bullet games. We can learn a lot, you know, tactics wise, and it's a great opportunity to see, for example, the world champion, how he plays the King's Gambit. But yeah, also wanted to use this video to give you some updates on the chess manga that we discussed some, I believe, 2 months ago or something like that, maybe even 3 months ago, and on the chess clock, my application for the Android. Regarding the manga, we are still we are making progress. My colleague is still, you know, honing his drawing skills, but we are moving it forward, and I think we will have like a smaller skeleton of the manga, I don't know, in some 3 months time, so you will be presented with it. Of course, you will all be able to participate if you want with the story, with the ideas, with everything. That's how I imagined it. But yeah, it's still not anywhere near close. So like I said, somewhere in three months time you will know more. But we are you know, dealing with it. And regarding the chess clock, I've been well informed by my colleague that all of the updates that you have emailed have been well updated, and that he now has only a few glitches to take care of, and that we should be releasing the full version of the app somewhere, I don't know, in a few days. But again, you will be notified of that, so you don't think that all of your emails were for nothing. They were all you know, carefully read and you know, updated. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this game. Here are the standings after this Lichess titled arena, and we do have a surprise here. Magnus Carlsen did not win this Lichess titled arena. The titled arena was won by Alireza Firouzja, the Iranian grandmaster. Really a spectacular play. As you can see below, I think he won 10 of his last 10 games in a row, and it was just enough to finish 2 points ahead of Magnus Carlsen. I don't know, ever since, I mean, he was always a great player, but ever since he was Carlsen's second, along with Daniil Dubov, both of them have been just showing amazing results. I know this is just a bullet tournament, but still, it's an amazing result. But he does have results, you know, in classical play as well. So really just amazing stuff. I think I don't think they learned all that much. I mean, of course, they learned a lot during the World Chess Championship match, as they were Carlsen's seconds. But I think just the experience that you were there with Magnus really, you know, gives a lot to your game. And also, you can see there he finished with a performance of 3116. Carlsen finished with 3092, so very close, and Opervezen in third place with 2984. But yeah, very exciting. And if you, I wasn't able to watch the titled arena, I've seen a few games, but if you have a Alireza game that you really like from the Lichess titled arena, feel free to use hashtag suggestion, and I will definitely give it a look, and then make a video on it if it's a very nice game. So yeah, I do hope you enjoyed it. I would like to thank Akshay Ranade and Brandon Gillette for a contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot, I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon. Continuing the Capablanca saga, the coverage of the Grand Prix, and of course checking up on your suggestions. Thank you all, I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.